So, yeah. Once again, good evening to one and all. I'm Nidhi and I'm a UI UX designer at SabPay. Also, I have worked on a real-time project. So, thank you so much for joining us today in this session and entertaining so much. Also, this session is going to be about a quick introduction to UI UX designing. Okay, so let me give you a quick recap of all the things that we are going to explore today. We'll be understanding what is UI UX, and we'll also be looking at some of the platforms that are available there on the internet for the UI UX designer, and we'll be looking at some of the helping hands for free sources which are very beneficial and come handy to UI UX designers. And lastly, we'll be exploring Figma and create a small working prototype. So let's start. Is UI UX designing? Can you repeat it, please? Yeah. What is UI UX designing? So using applications for daily basis, and we also come across different websites on internet. So little do we know what is the development part of this, whole development process. How is the websites? How are websites and apps? So obviously, we have to write code, and coding is involved in development part, but we can develop anything, but we cannot develop anything without having a very clear picture about it. Until and unless we don't know what we are developing and how it looks like, how we code. Okay, so here is the point when you are comes in. Like we in the interface,
Yeah,
like whatever
this is
application
use me Nidhi.
we are using software applications on daily basis, and we also come across a number of websites on daily basis. But we little do we know about the, but yeah, obviously we all, if we all are from engineering domain, then we know what is going on in the development process. But development process involves coding, lots and lots of coding. We all know that. But here is the thing: we cannot start coding until and unless a clear picture of what needs to be developed or what we are working upon, right? So here is when UI UX designing comes into play. A UI UX designer designs the interface of an application or a website, providing us with a rough layout or a prototype of the product around which the whole code is weaved. This prototype is a dummy of the exact product that we are planning to develop. Okay, so yeah, next slide, please. First things first, UI is not equal to UX. This is a very important thing. Okay, so UI UX do work together. They are always used together, but they aren't same. They are very different things. Okay, so what is UI? Now, please move on to the next slide.
Yeah,
Okay, so what is UI? UI is all about the look and feel and aesthetics and mood of any interface, like how it appears to your eyes. It's just UI is just about that. Like it's all about creating a mood. But how do you create this mood? To answer this question, we first need to know what is mood. So mood can be happy, it can be cheerful, it can be patriotic, motivational, or the feeling of belonging to a nationality. Okay, so you don't randomly experience all these feelings, right? There is a specific environment that arouses this feeling within you or create a mood. So, for example, when you hoist a flag or watch a movie about how we got independence, or you sing your national anthem, or like our national anthem basically. So you feel patriotic, or like for Indians, we all know who Sandeep Maheshwari is. If you are watching his video, you are feeling very motivational at that moment. You are very motivated. So so there is this environment that makes you feel like the way it is. Okay, so there is this question that how do you create or set up an environment online? So there are some elements which are color, typography, and word choice. Color, typography, and word choice. So we'll discuss in the later part that how the color and typography are affecting the mood of people. Okay. So next slide, please. The
Yeah.
UX slide. Okay. So what is UX? UX is development driven by the user behavior. Okay. So there are things that you need to take into consideration for UX design, that is human anatomy, user groups, demographics, roles, psychographics, and experience. Okay, so how do these things have an impact on the design of the software, or how do these things help in designing a software? Okay, so first, when we come to human anatomy, so you need to take into consideration like the size of our fingers, or like for example, you are surfing through a website, and there is this website where the size of the text is very small, and you cannot read it. So you need to take into consideration that how much bigger the text should be, like minimum at least the text should be at least 16 megapixel, so that you can read it at ease. Everything is at ease, so it should be at least 16 megapixel. So the range up to which your eyes can read is very like important. So this is how human anatomy affects UX design. So if text size is very small, then it is not giving you a good user experience. Okay, and also you have operated several software applications, so you do come around a number of buttons in the application itself. Okay, so what if the size of the button is very small? You cannot press it, right? Like while pressing it, you know that you're pressing the button, but you accidentally, your tab goes to some other area or some other part of the screen. So that leads to a completely another interface, or that doesn't leads you to anywhere. So that also doesn't gives you a good like user experience. So you need to take into consideration that what is the good amount of size that the button should be in any user interface. So this is how the human anatomy affects user experience, or the user UX design. Okay, then we have user groups. So, what are user groups? These are groups of people with similar goals. Like, for example, if we take this application called LinkedIn, so there we have people with similar user goals. Okay, that is, they all are there to find a job. So LinkedIn has designed its interface in in a similar way. Like it is very when you see look at the interface, it is very official. It appears very official and formal to you. The interface appears very formal. And then when we come to demographics, there are certain factors, or there are certain elements to demographics, that is this gender, age, education, marital status, income, and location. I repeat: gender, age, education, marital status, income, and location. So how does gender affect a UX design? So, if you consider this application, if you consider this application called Nika, this application is solely focusing on the makeup essentials. So obviously the makeup essentials. So from that we can make out what is the target audience. That is female. So gender is affecting the UI UX design of a software application, right? And then when it comes to age, you consider these two platforms. One is Coursera and one is White Hat Junior. So when it comes to White Hat Junior, the age is like a kid can learn coding. A kid learns coding from like if he is from age of 12 to age of 18 or so. I don't have clear idea if it is age of 18 or less. But when it comes to Coursera, it doesn't allow you if you are like somewhere in your 14 or somewhere in 15. You need to be like graduated, or you have to be in your graduation year, or you should be like at a job. Okay, so these two platforms are like the UX design is influenced by the age of the UX design of these two platforms is somewhere or the other influenced by the age of the people using it. Okay, and when it comes to education, again, I would give you the same example, Coursera and White Hat Junior. White Hat Junior solely focuses on coding. So that is how they have designed the interface, okay, of their software application. But Coursera, it's somewhere it is very vivid, and it covers like marketing, business, and coding as well, like computer science, and you can find courses from different domains on Coursera. Then, when it comes to marital status, then there is this app called Tinder. So the target audience of Tinder focuses on, like, mainly focuses on, which is very obvious, mainly focuses on people who are unmarried. So obviously, marital status is also affecting the UI UX of particular application. And obviously it does affects like other factors also come along the same way. Then we have psychographics. So psychographics, it is it includes the elements to psychographics are personality, attitude, lifestyle, and hobby. So if we take the same example of LinkedIn, then on LinkedIn we have people with a positive attitude and learning attitude. Specifically talking, they have this learning attitude. So psychographics is affecting the UI UX of like a, a software application. So then there is experience. So the elements of experience are expert, newbie, diehard supporters, persuadables. Okay. So now we have a case study. Like the slide isn't visible to me, so I'm opening my own presentation. Okay. So yeah, from the seventh slide you can start showing, please.
Yeah, Instagram and LinkedIn.
So this case that I want you to focus on, like if there is this first slide, there is this first picture or screenshot where it is the user interface and UX design of Instagram, and then there we have this LinkedIn. So all of you can see that they both have like they both have this similar kind of UI UX design, isn't it? Like they have this story column, then they have navigation column, but like when it comes to the in terms of UI design, when it comes to UI design, they both are setting up a very different environment. Okay, like Instagram, if you can see this, like the way Instagram is written, the way Instagram is written over here. So it is very like funky, and it is very it is making it like something very informal. Okay, so the typography is affecting the environment of like of this interface. But when you like focus on the logo of LinkedIn, then certainly it does convey some different, or it does sets up a different environment, right? And if you focus, when you go to the bottom of the navigation bar, so there is this column where you have this reads column, like kind of it appears the thing that we action scene one take one, the thing that we see in that we all have seen once or for a while. But this is a very different thing, and it also, this logo, this icon conveys very different message, right? It certainly does not convey that there is something this is something related to education or official matter or any kind of stuff like that. But it does convey that it is something from creative field, like yeah, movies and all, like where it all involves creativity and like literature. But when you see the like when you see the user interface design of LinkedIn, there is this icon where the icon looks like this handbag, and here it is written jobs. So these are very small elements, but they do convey a very different message, or they do set up a very different environment. Okay, like even if you like look at this description, like there is this account, there is this person, Nishant Saxena, and then you have the like what to say, description. He's a UI UX designer, graphic designer, and front end developer. Maybe that is like not written over there. That is not a profile. So so this does give you a like different feel. Whereas when you go to Instagram and you look at the bios over there, so they convey a certain different kind of message, right? So these are very small things. Like over here, we if I specifically say UI UX designer, graphic designer, this is the word choice that is setting up a very different environment. Or like to give you a very uh, next slide, please, the eighth one.
Yeah.
So on like Instagram, if you see, we have followers, but on LinkedIn, we have connections. Also, we have follow request on Instagram, or even if we consider Facebook, we have friend request over there. But in LinkedIn, we have connection request. So these are very small things that make it really different. Like it somewhere hits you in your mind, that it somewhere strikes that no, Instagram is similar, but it is not, the purpose is different. Okay, so this is how the word choice and the choice of icon and the typography, this is how it affects, like this is how it affects the UI and UI design, and this is how it sets up a very different environment. Like also the ninth slide, please.
Yeah.
Also, so also if you see the notification column of LinkedIn, and on the next slide we have the notification column of Facebook. So here we have very different notifications coming, like congratulate Vaibhav Kumar Ojha for starting a new position as junior software engineer. But here we have it's Lalit Chauhan's birthday today. Wish him well. So yeah, they do convey a different like feel to you, isn't it? So this is how small elements affect the environment, and they bring big difference to interfaces. Also, like when we come to UX design, yeah, there is this interface. So the application is Behance. Okay, so this application is called Behance, and the screenshot on the right hand side is of LinkedIn again. So you compare these two. When you compare these two, so you can see that there is this home icon which is highlighted. So it does convey that you are on the home page. Okay, so what it does is that it makes the user experience good. Like it makes it very obvious for you to know, or yeah, it makes it very obvious for you to know that you are on the home page. You can easily make out. But over here, uh, you can like you have certainly both of them have a similar UI design, so you know that you are familiar with such kind of interface to know that you are on this searching page. But what about the one who isn't familiar to all this kind of interfaces? So for him, like see on this screenshot where this is the UI on the UI page of Behance, like all the other icons are highlighted, but this search bar is appearing a little bit different. But obviously you can get an idea that yeah, you are there on the searching page, but it doesn't makes it as obvious as LinkedIn has made it obvious by highlighting it. Like it gives you a very vague idea. So if you are a like UX designer specifically, so you will know that the LinkedIn design is better than the Behance design. So obviously LinkedIn has a good UX design over here than Behance. So yeah, that is all about like that is all about the differences in UI UX design. Okay. Now, yeah, the 11th slide, please.
Actually,
So,
this is the old PPT. I do not have received the new one yet.
okay, never mind. Like these are small, like information, small pieces of information. Like, uh, now coming, if we come to like where would you design all such interfaces? So there are several platforms available on internet. So these platforms are like Adobe XD, Figma, we have Sketch, InVision Studio, Azure, Craft, Proto.io, Marvel, Framea X, and Origami Studio. There are many more, but today we would be looking at Figma. Like we would be exploring Figma. Okay, so like there is this. Um, some of the helping hands. What are some of the helping hands? Like there is this website called UI Gradient, which gives you amazing collection of color palette, and that too in a gradient. Like that is available in gradient. And if you want solid color palettes, then you can go to this website called coolers.co. Then we have Pinterest, where you can find free
Excuse
images.
me.
Yeah. Yes.
You can put the link of all these sites in chat box so that we can
Sorry, your voice is breaking.
maybe.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, yeah, you are audible. You can continue.
No, like someone was saying something. I couldn't hear. His voice just broke. Huh? Hello.
Okay, okay. They are asking for the resources in the chat box.
Okay, chat
I,
box.
yeah, yeah. You
Yeah,
can
just
type
give
them
me a
there.
second. Yeah, just give me a second. I can type. The right side panel, also called the properties panel, and this is the left side panel or the layers panel. Okay, regarding functionalities of the toolbar, we would like come to know about their functionalities when we start exploring Figma or working on Figma rather. So yeah, first let me introduce you to the toolbar section. Like over here we have tools like move tool and scale tool. Then we have the sorry. Then we have the frame tool and the slice tool. Then we have vector shape tools. Over here we have vector shapes, rectangle, a line, arrow, and so on. Then we have pen tool and a pencil tool. Then we have this text tool and we have this hand tool. Okay, so for example, um, okay, so regarding the functionality, we'll just deal it later on. And here is the comments tool. Okay, over here, the it appears the name of the file, and by default, it is untitled. Okay, so let's rename it. You just need to click on it, and we'll rename it as workshop. You can just name your file with your name. Okay, so I've renamed it as workshop. Then you have this menu bar over here, and over here you have the search bar inside. So you can search anything. I'm so sorry, I got disconnected for a while. Am I audible? Hello. Okay. Okay.
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah. So here we are in the workspace. Okay. And okay, we were talking about this menu bar. So menu bar is facilitated with this search bar, and you can find anything very easily over here. Okay. And uh, then over here you have this share option. So if you want to share this with anyone, share your design with anyone, you can just like share it via email or via link. Okay, and then you have this presentation view button, and over here you have zoom and view options. Fine, so let's get started with it. Like today, first we have to select a particular frame. Over here you can see that we have different frames. uh, we have the phone frame, the tablet, desktop, but we'll be going with this iPhone 11 Pro X app option. Okay, so what we need to do now is there is this frame, and now you need to understand some more things. Like over here, if you see this line, this line is the alignment column where you can align different objects as per your wish. For example, if we take this shape rectangle over here, okay, and if we want to align it towards the right, so we just click it over here, and it is aligned towards the right. Or we want to align the horizontal centers, then it is horizontally aligned. And if we also want to align the vertical centers, then here we go. Everything is this square is aligned horizontally and vertically. Then over here we have this position layer, and you can just enter different values and alter the position of this shape. Like let's enter 70, and you can see this shifting a little bit. Yes, and you can Similarly, you can change the value of y as well. So let's change it to 200. So it moved a little bit upwards, right? And then if you want to change the dimensions of this shape, then what you need to do is just go to this width column and change the dimensions like 150. So you can see the width got changed. Again, select this shape by clicking on it, and you have to change the height. So let's change it to 100. So you can see this is how this changes. Then we have this uh, rotation panel, or the rotation section where you can change the angle of the shape. Suppose say we want to rotate it with 45 degree. So you can see that it rotated, right? Or let's get back to 0 degree only. And then when we select it, we want to provide a corner radius. So what you do, you just enter a value over here, suppose it 20, and you get rounded corners because we have added a corner radius of 20. Okay, then we have this constraints layer, this layer blend mode, and we have this fill layer. Okay, so what you do with fill is you can just provide color to your shape, like any color you want. Okay, you can also alter the transparency, like if it's black, let me keep it jet black so that is more visible. And we want to change the visibility of this black, so not visibility, sorry, transparency. So you can see the transparency is changing, so you can change it from here, or if you want to be very precise, then you can just change it from here, like I want to change it to 50%. So I'm changing the transparency to 50%. So here we go. And then if you want to add a stroke over here, so what does stroke means? It simply means an outline around this box. Earlier it wasn't there. To make it more obvious, let me just increase the value of the stroke, rather the thickness of the stroke. So yeah, now it is more visible, I guess. Okay. Then we have this effects panel. So over here you want to provide any effect, maybe drop shadow or whatever it is. So you can provide it from there. So if you want to just remove it, just click on this minus button. And if you want to remove the stroke, just click on this minus button. So, and similarly, this applies to the fill option as well. If you click on the fill option, there will it would be like the same white color, and if we add, like if we click on this plus button, so yeah, a color is added to the shape. Okay, and then we have this export option, so we'll be dealing with it later on. So let's get started with okay, one more thing. There is this layers panel. So what does this layers panel mean? Like over here, there is this frame called iPhone 11 Pro X, and over here is the rectangle. This clearly means that this rectangle is a child layer to this frame. Or if we just move it upwards, then what happens if we select this iPhone X? Okay, just a second. Like we'll draw a one more shape over here. Okay, and this is rectangle 2, and this is rectangle 1. So rectangle 1 is out of this layer, like this frame. This rectangle is out of the frame. So if we simply select this frame and we just move it towards this, so you can see that this rectangle, since this rectangle belongs to this frame, or this rectangle was a child layer to this frame, this moved with the frame, but this didn't move, this stayed where it was. Okay, so this is what layering does to you. So okay, let's undo this. For undoing anything, you just need to press Ctrl plus Z. Easy it is. Now let's get started with the prototyping and or creating the UI UX design, right? So first we need to just clear this out. To clear this out, you need to just press Control plus X, and again the same thing. We repeat the same thing. Now what we are going to do is, give me a minute, please. Okay, so it's taking a long time to load. It's taking too long. Yeah, it worked. So this is the presentation view. Okay, so if you want to just make sure how your design looks, so you can just tap on this button and this would lead you to this page. Also, if you tap over here, it would direct you to the main home screen. So what I'm doing now is I'm just going to the project that I'm recreating today, so that I am constantly in touch with the reference. Okay, yeah, okay. So whenever you have a look on your smartphones, there is this small indication of the battery settings, not the battery settings, or the battery, how much amount of battery is there in your phone, and the signal indications are there. Also, the Wi-Fi indications are there, right? So how do we get those things over here? We can just create it by using these vector tools, but it would take too long. So Figma is supported with this amazing feature of plugins. So what you can do is just left click on your screen and here you get this plugins option, or you can just go to your menu and you have this plugins feature over here. So I've already installed a number of plugins, but I'll show you how you can install plugin. So you can go to manage plugins and click over there. Then you need to click on this community tab, and over here, if you can see, there is this plugin option. Okay, so you need to click on this plugin button, or rather the link, I should say. Yeah, so when you search font awesome. Font awesome over here and press enter, then you'll have some sort of like this kind of screen appearing in front of you. Okay, so you just need to click on this install button. Also, I would suggest you that you install one more plugin, like that is. Also, I would suggest you to install one more plugin, that is Unsplash. You would need it later. So you can install Unsplash from here. So mine is already installed, so I don't need to install it. Okay. And do one thing. When hello, am I audible?
Yeah, audible.
Okay, I thought I got disconnected. Yeah, so when you search for font awesome icon, you just don't simply write font awesome. You write font awesome icon. Okay, never mind. This is directing me to this page. You can just install this. Right. Since I've already installed, I am not going to install it again. So when I left click on the screen and go to the plugin option, I have this font awesome icon option over here. Right. And when I click on this, just a second. Okay, sometimes some issues are there in Figma as well. Okay. Okay, the screen is there. So somewhat this kind of screen would be appearing in front of you. So what you need to do is you simply need to search battery over here. Yeah. So you can see here are some options. So I'm going for this one. Okay. And first you need to just child layer it for this frame so that this thing lies within this frame. Okay, and we'll just move it upwards by simply selecting, sorry, by simply selecting it and dragging it upwards. Similarly, we are going to again use font awesome icon and search for Wi-Fi since it is already appearing over here. So yeah, again we'll follow the same process and we'll child layer it for this frame, and then one more time we are going to use this plugin, and this time we are going to search for signal. Yeah, here you go. And please don't forget to child layer it again and again, because in case of plugins you have to do it constantly. Okay, this looks okay. Now we'll click on the text tool and again click on the frame, and we'll give a time 9 p.m. Okay, so this is I think too small or too vague. I'm changing the font size. I'm altering the font size from here. You can have a look once, like over here when you click on this button or this space, you can just change the font size. Okay, I didn't select. What you need to do is you need to double click on this piece of text, and now it is selected, and when you alter the size, font size, it gets bigger. Yeah, now I'm going to change the weight from regular to bold, so you can see how this works, and again we'll select it and drag it upwards. Now we are going to see how it looks like in our presentation view. I'm so sorry. Yeah, so you can see that this is overlapping, like, so we need to just, uh, what's happening? Oh God. Yeah, so what you can do is we need to just align it properly. First, we need to resize it. So we have selected this particular vector shape, and we are going to alter the width from here. Okay, so I'm keeping it 16 and 80. Okay, again I'm selecting this icon or Wi-Fi icon, and I'm again keeping it 16 and 18. And same applies for the signal icon also, 16 and 18. Yeah, just shift this little bit, and yeah, you can just align it equally. And if you are having any kind of difficulty, what you can do is, like, if I just, like, I have ruined the alignment completely, I know, but this is just to show how you can align it properly without any difficulty. Like, you just click on the first icon, then press the shift key and click on the second item. So what happens is, you have selected both the icons at the same time. Okay, and then you press the shift key and select the third icon, or click on the third icon. Now you click over your more options. Okay, and what you can do is distribute horizontal spacing. So now you can see the spaces are the spaces between these icons are well distributed. So if you are unable to space it up like properly, you can just go for this option. Okay, to be more precise. So I'm simply just undoing the changes because I had already aligned it earlier. Yeah, and yeah, so I've aligned it. Now let's look how the presentation view looks like. Okay, so still it is somewhat, um, it is not appearing good, so we are going to make changes to it again. I'm having some difficulty with this. Uh, yeah, it's gone, thankfully. So, what we need to do is we need to align it properly. We'll go to more option and distribute horizontal, sorry, not horizontal spacing, but I guess vertical spacing. Yeah, now they all fall in the same line. We'll just drag it a little bit down. Okay, and we'll have a look. Okay, it looks good, but it doesn't look that good. So again, we need to change the spacing over here. Like, we'll zoom in to 150% so that it gets a lot more easy for us to space it up. We'll drag it aside. Okay, this is fine, I guess. And we'll distribute the vertical spacing. Yeah, now when we have the look, okay, just a second. Yeah, now it looks somewhat decent, right? What we'll do, we'll just change the text size over here. Also the weight. And again, we are going to align it, like we'll distribute the vertical spacing. Yeah. Okay, this looks good, somewhat good. Again, changing the zoom in options to 60%. Now what we are going to do is, like, just a second, first let me have the reference with me over here. Okay, so our interface would look somewhat like this. So now what we are going to do is just left click on the okay, just select this frame and go to the fill option, and we would just have, I feel this color looks fine. So we have changed the fill color, and if you want the color code, here it is. What I'm doing is I'm just pasting the color code in the chat box. You can just enter the color code over here in this column, and you will get the same color as it is over here. Or even if you want to create another color palette, you can do it, but I am going with this color palette only. So let me just paste it in the chat box. Yeah, I've pasted the color code, and now you can just copy and paste it in your design as well. Now the second thing that I'm going to do is I'll just click on this ellipse option and click it over here. So to alter the dimensions, you can just use this method, or simply to be more precise, you can just go for, like I'm going for 150. Okay, I'm sorry, 150 into 150 dimension. So I'll place it over here, and then since it is already selected, like, so we'll press Control D. So what happens is this enables you to create a duplicate shape, like similar shape with similar dimensions. Okay, like once again, let me do this. Like I selected this shape and I press Control D. So we have a similar shape. When we drag it down, we have a similar shape over here. So we don't need this third shape, we just need the second one. So what we are going to do is we are going to place this over here. Okay, and okay, now the issue is this 9 p.m. is getting like is beneath these two circles. So now layering, how layering is going to help us, we'll just drag it downwards. Yeah, we'll just drag it downwards. Just a second, and we'll take the ellipse too, and we'll drag it downwards. So now the 9 p.m. is appearing on top. Okay, now what we are going to do, we are going to alter the fill color over here again. So I'm going for this shade, and you can just click on this eyedropper, take this over here and click over here, so you are going to get the similar color, or the same color rather, not the similar one. And if you want to just change the opacity, you can just alter this column, like drag this slider. So I want it to be a little bit more precise. I want it to be 40 degrees. I want it to be 40%, not degrees. I'm so sorry. So yeah, 40%. Then I'm going to select this shape, and again I'm changing the opacity to 40%. Okay. So yeah, like let's position it a little bit more so that it looks good. Yeah, this is fine. This should be okay. Okay, this looks fine. Okay, so we have created this design over here, and now what you need to do is, like, if you can see the reference, we have some illustrations over here. So from where would you find these illustrations? I would tell you now. You can just go to undraw, and you have a number of illustrations. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm just choosing a particular illustration, and like suppose say we choose this particular illustration. So there are two options: download the PNG format or download the SVG format. So if you download the PNG format, uh, there would be a white background appearing behind this illustration. So I'm going for this SVG format, and so should you also. Okay, I think it's downloaded. Uh-huh. Yeah, so what we need to do is we'll simply drag and drop, like we are selecting this. I've selected this, and now I'm going to drag and drop this over here. And the illustration appears on your workspace. You simply need to resize it a little, and I think you are good to go. What you can do is you can just align the horizontal centers and keep it in this like middle of the screen. So let us check how it looks, how our design looks in the presentation. Okay, so one more thing I would like to add is Figma is a software, like it is definitely available in the software form. I am doing this in website, but Sigma is very well synced site. So if you make any changes to your design over here, this will automatically apply to your presentation also. Okay, so yeah, this looks decent, I guess. Now what else? Okay, now we are required to make this button. So what we'll do is click on this rectangle, and I am altering the dimensions. Okay, so this should be, and 60 is okay for me. And I'm just going to align the horizontal centers for this button. Yeah, this is okay. Okay, this is good. Now to add a more button like image to this, we are just going to add some corner radius to it. like 15 would be good amount of corner radius, yeah. And we are adding again a fill color to this, so let us have a look which, okay, I think this color looks good. Then we'll have a text over here, and we'll write get started, but again this is very small, so we'll just resize the font, and I feel 20 is okay. Again, to center this text, what you need to do is, this text is already selected. You just need to press the shift key and click on the button shape. And then what you need to do is align it horizontally and align it vertically. So it comes to the center of this shape. Now what we are going to do is we are going to select it and change the font color. So we have changed the font color over here, and like again we are going to add a text. Introduction to UI UX. Okay, don't mind over here there is this flutter icon, but I am writing over here introduction to UI UX. Okay, so if you have any issues with it, I am going to just replace it with another illustration if you wish, but for now I'm letting it how it is. So yeah, we need to again align it horizontally well, and we'll change the font size till up to 25 and 25 pixels, and then we'll change the weight, like let this be bold, and yeah. Now what we are going to do is, just to make it look somewhat professional, I'm just going to copy this. I'm also going to paste it in the chat box. Just a second. Okay, it is asking me to shorten my message, so I'm sending it in parts. Okay, I don't know what is the issue over here. What you can do is you can copy any piece of text from Google and just paste it over there. Like, yeah. Now you can see that this is not properly aligned and it isn't giving a good look to our design. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this, and okay, just a second. I'm going to select this, and over here I'm going to align I'm going to align the text to the center. Now it looks somewhat decent. Okay. So yeah, this should be like, I'm just increasing the size a bit, and I'm also increasing the text size of this particular piece of text. It would be okay. Okay, it's in the center. Okay. So now if you want to add some effects, so what you can do is just click on this effects panel and you can see that there is a shadow over here that appears after you have clicked on that effects panel. Like if you can see, like let me make it more obvious. Suppose I just remove this effect, so it is very plain or 2D, but when I add this effect, it is kind of giving a 3D effect and it feels more like a button. Okay. uh, yeah, so 100 is good. Yeah, so we are ready with the first screen, with our first screen. Okay, now what we are going to do is you can just click over here and everything that lies within this frame that is selected now. And now what we are going to do is we'll just press Control D. Okay, so a duplicate appears over here. But one thing, you guys might be facing some issues regarding this piece of text, so I'm not uh, I'm not able to figure out what is the issue and why isn't the message going there. Let me try it once more. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, if everyone is okay with adding their own piece of text, I'm not just pondering over that point anymore. So now what I'm going to do is, like, now this helps you in like you need to create, when you look at the reference, you need to create similar types of design. So just duplicating this frame just makes it easier for you to like it it makes it easy, and you don't have to again and again just create this circle again and then just add this plugin again. Okay, so what I'm doing is just removing it. So I'm just selecting this illustration and pressing Ctrl plus X to remove this, and I'm doing the same thing with all these elements or objects. Okay, now we need to create this register screen. Like, so what we will do, like I have some more illustrations already I have downloaded over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to resize this a bit. And we'll write welcome over here. And definitely we are going to align the horizontal centers. Okay, so we are going to align the horizontal centers over here, and we are going to do the same thing with this illustration as well. Now what I'm going to do is I'll just make some input boxes. Okay, like I'm changing the dimensions. I'll keep it 50 and I'll keep it uh, 300. Oh, I'm so sorry. 300, and I'm again going to align the horizontal centers, and I'm going to change the fill color to white, and I'm going to add the corner radius of 50. Okay, so um, yeah, now what I'm going to do is I'll press Control plus D and I have the duplicate shape over here. And there is this amazing feature on Figma, or rather you can call it a shortcut. After you have pressed Control D and you have aligned the duplicate shape according to you, now when you press Control D, the third shape will get automatically aligned. So this is a shortcut. Okay, so that is what our need is. So I feel this welcome should be more little bit upwards and the text size is too big. 20 would be fine, I think. And okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select all these things by pressing Shift key and clicking on every item and align horizontal centers. Yeah, that's it. Again, I'm going to shift this a little bit upwards and align them horizontally. Yeah. Now what we are going to do is, I think this. Now what I'm doing is I'm just duplicating this shape by pressing Control D and I'll place it over here and align the horizontal center. Like, uh, yes, you can just place it somewhat downwards and I can do the same thing. Like what you can do to, like first you select this shape and you just make note of the Y constraint. It is 656, right? So what we'll do is we'll just select this option and we'll just make the changes to 656 and it got aligned according to this shape. Okay, now what we are going to do is we are going to align the text accordingly. One thing you can do is, okay, let it be for now. For now, let it be. Okay, I'm sorry. So now what we'll write over here, enter name, and we'll select the text, change it to a little bit gray color. Yeah, change it to a little bit gray color and then we are going to align it properly. Then we'll press D over here, just accordingly. Just a second. Yeah, this is good. So again, Control D and align it accordingly. Again, we do the same thing. Now we'll make changes to this specific text field, the email. Then we enter password. And then we confirm password. confirm password. Okay, and if you want, you can just select every text field and just resize it accordingly. 17 would be good. Yeah, you can see this. Now what I'm going to do is I'll just copy this, like not copy this, rather duplicate this. Control D, D for duplicate. And I'll just place it over here and change it to register. Okay, and then I'm going to align the vertical and horizontal centers of the button and the text. After that, what we need to do is, like, just a second, this isn't feeling good. Yeah, this looks good. So yeah, now what we are going to do is we are going to add another text field, and we are going to write over here, already have an account. Have an account. Okay, I'm so sorry. The spelling of account is wrong. Login. Now, what we are going to do is select this piece of text, only this piece of text, like already have an account, and we are going to change the font size to 17. So, okay, let's keep it 16. That would be good. Yeah, this looks good. Okay, and we in the color of this login text, and okay, somewhat more dark pink. Yeah, this looks good, and we'll align it over here. Okay, so now this feels somewhat professional. Now what we are going to do is, there are two frames, frame 1 and frame 2. We are going to select frame 2 and again press Ctrl D. Now what we will do is just we'll remove this remove this column and this text field by pressing Ctrl X, and we are going to do the same thing with this or these objects as well, and we are going to alter this, and we'll be writing login over here, log in over here, and we'll be aligning the horizontal and vertical centers, and over here we need to change it from login to first as sign in, and just need to change already don't have an account, and again aligning it horizontally. So don't have an account. Now what we'll do is we'll just yeah, I think it's okay, just a second. Yeah, I just aligned the text field to the right hand side and nothing else. Okay. Yeah, and I'll just increase the size of the illustration, move it a little bit downwards, and I'll write over here, welcome back. So we are done with the third page. Now the final page is over here. So we'll select the third frame and again we'll press Ctrl D. Now we'll remove all these stuffs together. You can just select every single object in one page and press Ctrl X and get it cleared at one single time. Okay, now what we are going now how our last page would look like. Okay, so we'll just select this rectangle tool, and what we are going to do is we are going to create a rectangle over here. Now you can see that all these layers are beneath this rectangle. So as you know, you just need to drag it down and everything would appear upwards. Now we need to change the fill of this shape. So I'm going with this color, like this color looks good. And I'm changing the color of these shapes as well, somewhat more lighter shades. So I'm just moving it towards the white side of the color scheme, and yeah, it is getting lighter. Then we are going to select the next eclipse and we'll do the same thing with the next eclipse as well. Okay. Yeah. So now what we are going to do is, again we are going to go to the vector toolbar and select this eclipse over here and just click on the eclipse. Just alter the dimensions, like 200 is to 200 would be fine. Okay, it's too big. So keeping it 170 is to 170 maybe. Yeah, so we'll align it horizontally again. Just move it a little bit upwards. Yeah, that's great. Now, if you have installed the Unsplash plugin already, then what you need to do is just left click on the screen and go to plugins option, and you would have this Unsplash option appearing over here. So click on this Unsplash option. Okay, it would take some time maybe, or maybe I have to retry it as well. Okay, let's retry this. Unsplash. So an error occurred. We need to keep retrying. It's not that big an issue. Yeah, here it is. Over here you can see the search bar, and we'll just search girl over here. You can even search boy, there are no restrictions. So okay, so there are some very good profile pictures that we can use. So I'm just going for this one, or rather I'm going for this one. This would look great with our color palette. Okay, some issue happened. We just need to undo this. Never mind. You need to just click on the circle first and then left click, go to plugins and unsplash. And then you need to just search for girl or boy, whatever you want to search. Select this or whichever picture you like, and yes, you have this profile picture over here. Then we would again add a text field and we will write welcome Lauren Grace. Welcome, Lauren Grace, and I'm just going to resize it again. I think 20 is good, and I'm going to change the fill color or the font color, not the fill color but the font color, and I'm going to align it horizontally yet again. You need to keep doing this so that your design looks good. I'll shift it a little bit upwards, and I'll also resize this. Okay, this looks good. Now what we are going to do is create some more buttons. So we'll just select this and here we have, you can just increase the width by 300 and align it horizontally. After then I would change the color of this button to, like, I'm just going to take this eyedropper and click over here. So yeah, this gives you the color of the button, and what I'm going to do is again duplicate this and just drag it downwards. Now just keep on pressing this Ctrl D and Figma aligns it for you. So what I'm going to do is I'll just shift this little more downwards, and now what you do is you select all these buttons, go to more options and distribute the vertical spacing. You can see how this gets spaced up equally over here, right? Now I'm going to add another text field over here, UI UX, and I'm just going to change the weight. It would be bold and it looks good, and I'm just going to change the color to white. Okay, and I'm going to select this button with this particular piece of text. You can clearly see that I selected both of them, and I'm going to align the horizontal and vertical centers. Then what I'm going to do is I've selected this piece of text and I'm pressing Ctrl D, and yeah, you can just place it over here and keep on pressing Ctrl D and Figma aligns it for you. Now just make changes accordingly. UI UX, then we have site maps. Well, these are some technical terms that you need to get acquainted to before you start UI UX. So I'm not going into more technicalities. I'm just talking about the nitty-gritties of Figma. So yeah, wireframes, and then we have prototypes. But we need to align these texts. This isn't looking good. Yeah, now this looks good. Now what we are going to do is we are ready with our design, and now, okay, just a second. I'm changing it to 30% so that, yeah, okay, not 30 but 40%. Like, now how this prototype is going to work, what you need to do is just select this button over here and go to this prototype option. Okay, and you can see a small circle over here which changes to a plus icon when you hover over it. Just click on it, and you can see when you drag your mouse, the arrow appears over here. Okay, and you can just lead this or direct this arrow to the second screen. Okay, and we are going to set up the interaction details. Button, we need to tap on it. So on tap, and we are okay. We are selecting this dissolve option. Okay, and we are just increasing the time to 700 microseconds. Okay, fine. So let's check what is happening on our presentation view. So this is the first slide, as you can see. And now when we tap on this button or click on this button, you are directed to this page. So this is a working prototype. So now let's complete it first. Then you click on this register button and just direct it to this page. Because if you register it, you will be directed to the home screen of your application, software application, right? So one more thing over here, since we have already prescribed the detail of how this navigation is going to happen, so options are already, you can see they are already there in the input field, so you don't need to set it up again and again. You just need to redirect your like arrows. So clicking on this button, yeah. So you just need to redirect it to this interface, and after that, when you click on this login button, then you just need to redirect the arrow to this interface again, and then when you click on this text field over here, then you need to just, yeah, the arrow should point to the third screen, right? And again, when you click on the sign in button, you need to point the arrow to the second interface. So now our prototype is complete. Let's check what is there. So we click on get started, we register it, and we are over here. And if we go back and we tap on login, okay, maybe there is some issue with the space, so I'll just space it up even more. Yeah, now let's check. Yeah, so it is redirecting you to this page, and when you tap on this login, you are over here on the home screen. Okay, so now what you need to do is you need to export it first. So select this vector toolbar and this rectangle tool, and just close all these frames, like the details, and just drag it to down drag it downwards, and yeah, select a good color that has a more contrast with this color palette, and then what you can do is, here is this option of export. You don't have to select any items, you just unselect everything and you will have this kind of properties panel where simply this export button is written, export button is appearing, I'm so sorry. And then over here you can just you can look that you can export it in the form of PNG or JPEG or SVG or PDF format as well. So you need to export it in PNG format, and yeah, so this is the kind of preview. So only this whole screen would be exported in the form of image, and we would write just click on this export workshop. Yeah, export it over here. So you can see this gets downloaded, right? So you need to upload it on GitHub. Now uh, now the animation part is left, so let's be quick. So we'll just select the frame again, and what we need to do is zoom in a little bit and left click, and then we go to plugins, we go to font awesome icons, and we search for a heart icon. So today I am covering counter animation for you. So let us rename this layer as animations layer. And resize it a bit. Now let's change the color of this heart icon, and I'm keeping it a little bit lighter. Now what we are going to do is zoom in a little bit more, like 70%, and just like, okay, over here I'm going to enter a, okay, let's take 3 for example, and we are going to resize this a little bit. Then what we are going to do is we are going to duplicate this, and yeah, we need to change it, change the numbers, like you can enter any random number, like I'm entering 2 over here. Yeah, and similarly we are going to do with another set of numbers. So yeah, let's enter any random value like 3. And we'll duplicate this again. Any random values you can take. Okay, make sure that the last this specific row, the numbers that you want to enter, like I'm taking 99. So what I'm doing is, when you click on this heart icon or this heart button, there is this animation will occur, which would lead you from 3 likes to 99 likes. It would happen automatically. Okay, so yeah, so just make sure that you enter the first value and the last value according to what range you want. So I am taking the range from 3 to 99. Then what we are going to do is, we are going to take this small rectangle we are going to create over here. Okay, sorry. Like, let's undo this. First, we are going to group this. And then we'll group this column as well. So how do we group it? We group it by selecting, like I'm selecting all these numbers and I just simply press Ctrl G. So this gives me group 1 and this gives me group 2. Now what we'll do is, we'll just take a rectangle over here and we'll place it over here. Okay, and we'll just drag this layer down beneath group 2 and group 1, and now we'll just click on the mask option. So if I got disconnected for a while, let's do it once more time. Like, I have just dragged the rectangle down and I have just masked it. Like, click on this icon. You have to keep selecting this rectangle and just click over here. So now what will happen is, you don't need to do anything. Just select this and just duplicate this again. Now just change the color of this heart icon or heart button, whatever you want to call it. I'll I'll keep it red and select group 1 and just drag it upwards. Remember, the last digit was 9, so I'm taking I'm placing 9 over here, and I'm taking group 2 over here, and again I'm just yes. Now what we'll do is, we'll select the first animation layer. Let me give this a name of animation layer 1 and animation layer 2. So we'll select this first animation layer, rather we'll select this heart button and go to prototype. We'll just drag the arrow and direct it to this second animation layer. Now what we are going to do is, in the interaction details, let this be as it is. In animation, you just select the smart animate option, and for smooth animation you what you do is ease in and out, and then you just change the timing from 700 microseconds to 2000 microseconds. Okay. Yeah, if you drag this thing from here to here, now this will be shown in our presentation layer. Like just a minute. Yeah. So what happens when we click on this heart shape? Let's see. So you can see what happens, right? So this is how it works. I hope you liked today's workshop. And regarding the uh, GitHub, that you need to upload this picture, Aniket would guide you further. Over to you, Aniket.
Yeah. So you can just stop your screen sharing. Yeah, so I guess many people know, but I also saw that many people were facing issues regarding like how to upload on GitHub. So let me show you once again. Yeah, so my screen is visible, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so let me provide once again the repository link. Yeah, true. Amazing explanation by Nidhi. Like it was really a very amazing session. Like learned a lot. So yeah, regarding uploading your work, like if you want to win some amazing swags, digital swags, and if you are a really good learner within these 3 days workshop, then a best learner badge and special recognition on social media, then you need to upload your work. Okay. So I have provided this repository link in the chat section. So open up this repository. Okay. Fork it once. Okay. So while you will tap on fork, it is creating a clone, a copy of that repository in your own account. So you can see that it's my username, and under which it has created a clone of that, that the same copy of that same repository which I have provided in the chat section. Okay. So since this was the intro to UI UX designing, so open up this folder. Okay. And if you are we have made 2 designs today, right? So you can provide both the designs or one only, and you can like add anything. Like you can edit the text, you can edit the colors, some more changes. You can like enhance your design. Okay. And if you have 2 or more files, then make a folder of your own name. Okay. Add all those 3 files into that single folder. Open fork this repository, open the respective folder like intro to UI UX designing, and then go to add file and then upload files. Okay. Yeah. You can see drag files here, or you can choose. So I am dragging a single. For example, I am using this single file. You can like if you have more than one file, then make a folder of your name. If you have a single file, then just name it with your own name and then upload it here. Okay. Drag and drop here. You can see that it's uploading. Commit changes. It is processing. Yeah. So you can recheck it once into going to this folder. You can see that the PNG image is here. So now go to pull request. Then tap on new pull request. Yeah. And then create pull request. Down below, you can see that there is an option to create pull request, and you can like maybe add your own name here. So just create pull request, and you can see that we are back to the same repository. So you can see the pull request has been sent, and now we will check this your pull request and will merge it with the repository, and if your designs or your works are really good, you will get digital swags. If you have attended for all the 3 and will be uploading all the 3 days work, so you will get a best learner badge and a special recognition on social media, like your photograph with your works will be uploaded on our social media. You will get a really very special recognition. And talking about the certificate, I guess all your doubts are clear regarding uploading the work, because many people were facing this. So if you are having still any doubt in the GitHub section, you can ask. Okay, that's great. So regarding the quiz for the certificate, let me provide the link. Yeah. So the link for the quiz through which you will get your certificates are in the chat section. So you can attempt it, and remember to write your full name and your correct email address so that you get the right one. So just complete it fast and then let us know in the chat section. When are we getting the digital swag? Yeah, so we are letting this thing like uploading your designs or your works till it's say Tuesday. So we are keeping this open till Thursday, okay, till 22nd of October. And after that, we will just check the work and will provide you the digital swags and all the other needful stuff according to your work by the end of this week. And your certificates, you will receive it by today or by tomorrow. Yeah. So thank you all of you for joining us for this event. We always come up with amazing events and workshops. And next week we are coming up, like if you have about Imagine Cup, Microsoft Imagine Cup World Championship. It is one of the largest hackathons organized by Microsoft, and we will be having the winner of the this year's 2020 champion of Imagine Cup. So we'll provide the link in the chat, like in our group. So stay connected with us there, and we will be coming up with amazing events, workshops, webinars, competitions, and so on. Thank you, all of you.